Oh, hey, we're here. We were sitting here forever and then thinking, are we really gonna go live today? I was concerned that our internet was not gonna do what we needed it to do today.
All right. So should we give it a minute?
Oh, that's okay. We've got quite a few people already here.
People. All right. Mm-hmm. So welcome to Fabric Patch Book Club. So no one read the book. I would not. I said, I am not sitting here by myself. So I read it. Brianna did not.
I did not.
Tracy is here at the table. Tracy did not.
Did not.
Marge did not. She bought the book though.
I have the book. I just couldn't. I got in a ways, but I just couldn't read it. I just couldn't finish it.
Yeah. So we want to know. This was the book that we talked about. So we want to know.
Didn't we have choices?
Yes. We had choices.
Because I started the other one.
You started the other one.
Thunder in the Mountains.
Thunder in the
That
Mountains.
was a good one.
Finish it.
Well, we'll talk about all three of
I
those.
read someone similar to Thunder
Read
in the
it a month
Mountains in
ago.
school.
Hi y'all, Lori Gilmartin. Lori and I talked a little bit. She didn't like it. She says the first time it was one that she didn't like. So I feel like first, so we'll kind of get started and then we'll talk about the book just a little bit and then we'll talk about a little bit of a change. So the dilemma, well, no, let's talk about the book first.
And what we were reading, there were three options. It was Betty, Thunder in the Mountains, or The Night Watchman. It was pretty much around Native American historical fiction. It was kind of what we were going around. So just because we've done so much World War II historical fiction, we decided to do something a little different. And The Night Watchman came up through our list quite a bit from you guys.
A lot, because that's really what the problem is. So maybe we should start with that. So, the people that are constantly sending in, I mean, this is my folder and this is my list. And so the people that are one of the list, this is the top list. The people that are sending in recommendations for book club, 99% of them are historical fiction.
Yeah.
Historical fiction. Or other ones that they say, oh, I really liked this, but don't say I recommended it because it has a whole lot of, romance in it or whatever. And so, anyway, so it's a lot of that. And all three of us talked about this morning. And the reason that people stopped reading this is because historical fiction is a hard read. Mm-hmm. And Tracy said it probably best, that if it's just a really fun story and it happens to take place in a time period, that is fun to read. But oftentimes when it is about, and it's really about soldiers in World War II, prisoners of war from World War I, what happened to the Indians, it is tough to read. Mm-hmm. And I think that Prejudice is just so tough to read. And I think mostly it's tough because it is such a part of our history. And it's hard to even think about it. And I think the Black history stuff, gosh, that stuff is terrible. And so anyway, so I thought, well, maybe what we could do is we could lump a bunch together, because I don't know if you guys are like me or not, but I tend to get like super depressed. I mean, I'll read that book and then I need to like take a couple of days to think about it, clear out my head just a little bit. And then I usually need to read something that is totally in left field to kind of clear my head a little bit. So that's why we thought, well, we'll just get the American Indian, Native American history. These were the three that were suggested. And then this next month, we had some Black history stuff that we could kind of get out of the way. And then what we would do is then we would go back to, we have quite a few that people have suggested. So anyway, that was sort of what the thought was. So this month, one of them was Betty. I did not recommend that one at all. I did read it. It was so horrifying. And I think I told my friends that are on here, you will have nightmares. I mean, there was even like a cat torture on it. It was just a terrible, terrible, hard book, historical fiction. It was really about her life, but it was terrible. Sorry. So we'll ask here in a minute if anybody read that and what your thought was. And then the Thunder in the Mountain, there's actually two. There is one that is kind of a young adult one that is about 15 minutes and it's kind of a synopsis. And then the other one is just a whole lot of history. Yeah. And like, I think it was Nancy Toussaint said that the historical information is valuable, I think, to know that, but very, very hard. But the other thing is that they're so spiritual. Yeah. All of